What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Climb Together Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Scorpio, with my co-host, Deception. Deception, say hi.
What up?
This is episode number 116 of the podcast. I personally am, incredibly mentally fried. It is finals time for the college world, and I'm getting cooked, guys. I'm getting fried. I'm getting flipped and dipped and burnt.
Yeah,
Non-consensually.
that's not good.
No, it's not. But alas, I shall prevail, I guess. I mean, I have like 2 weeks left from today, left of the semester. Um, my last final is on the 15th, I think, or like the 14th or something. It's really like 2 weeks from today. Yeah, 14th. So, and then I'll be done, and then I start my full time job in June. So I'll have like a month working like 30 hours with no school and like nothing else. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Boink, boink. But,
Yeah, okay.
what was I saying? It's been an interesting week in esports, so let's go ahead and get into it. I'm feeling a little congested today because of these allergies, but that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We're fine. Alright, let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. What do we got going on? So, I mean, we probably can talk about, like, the most, not the most prevalent, but, like, probably what, I'm having a really hard time today. This is gonna be a rough one, I have a feeling. Let me look. A great place to be is looking through deceptions in my DMs.
Oh.
All right. I got it. We good. Alrighty, so to start off today, we'll kind of talk about the Major 3 that happened over the weekend. We have our champions, 100 Thieves finally taking home that trophy for the Major win. I mean, we've been waiting for this roster to pop off, and they did. They freaking locked in and absolutely dominated, especially in the winners finals. Freaking 7 maps in a row.
They finally got one done.
They did it.
I like that in this graphic they changed the
trophy. Yeah. Gotta keep it with the colors. I do like this reaction photo of Nate shot though. It's kind of funny. But I'll let you take it away on this one, Deception. I mean, our bracket is busted like completely to shams, so no sense in going over that. But
honestly, bracket wise, that's probably one of the worst.
It just got like with FaZe getting knocked out so early, it just really like tickled our our where we were going with that. And then like Surge doing a freaking winners bracket run, with a sub, like was not expecting that either.
So. It was just like the thing about that was like, I mean, it could have went either way. So like, Surge beating FaZe wasn't the craziest thing, but it's just like Surge beat them was so convincing on it. Which was very interesting.
Yeah.
And then like Optic losing was not great.
I mean, I think we kind of foresaw that coming though, like with just which is the way things were. I mean, we kind of like we knew that they were gonna do better than they have been doing, but they weren't like up to par with be able to make it like top 4. I mean, they did. We predicted top 8, and I think they landed top 8. So I'm not shocked, but I'm also saddened by that.
It was just like, I don't know. I felt like I'm glad they didn't lose the Falcons and go out top 12, but it kind of sucks for the Falcons because like they needed at least a little bit of a good run.
Yeah.
And now it's like, eh.
Yeah.
Their chances for champs now, like looking at the standings, just, I mean,
They've got.
they
It's not.
maybe if they had like basically a perfect run, it's possible. But like they needed at least like a top 6 to be looking good enough. But
yeah,
it's kind of interesting how the league is shaping out too, because if you look at it, it's basically like Thieves and FaZe are above everybody else, even though FaZe didn't do that great this event. Thieves and FaZe are above everybody else. And then there's 2 through 10 or 3 through 10 basically just fighting for their lives.
Essentially, yeah. I think 3 and 4 are pretty safe.
3 and 4 are kind of kind of far out, but like you have to think about the fact that the Heretics did really well at this event, and the Ravens were really good, and now they're falling off. And then like you have LEG and Falcons at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't see them making it out. I mean, they haven't even hit the triple digit points yet. I think the only real competition is gonna lie within the 5 through 10 range, honestly, of competing to stay in. I think Ultra and Surge. What's up, Tommy? I think Ultra and Surge have enough points to where they're kind of secure, at least making it to champs. But I would say like,
oh, they're definitely making it.
But I would say everybody else is kind of like.
I think even Ravens probably make it.
Yeah.
The big question is like 6 through 10 because at this point I know
game.
that LAG's not going to make it no matter what happens unless they also have like a perfect run. And it was looking maybe possible for Falcons, but now it's like very unlikely.
Yeah.
So like now it's like 6 through 10. There's basically 5 teams fighting for 3 spots.
I mean, I think it just depends on who has a good Major 4. I mean, they're going to have to like Minnesota Rocker and Cloud9 have to have a really good Major 4, I would say. And everyone else just kind of has the same.
Rocker were looking like kind of good, to be honest. Like Kenny was looking good.
I mean,
you also have to think about the fact that Optic is in the middle of this.
That's true. I mean, they're right on the edge. They're right on the edge.
I mean, we said it before, where it's like they don't need to have another bad split, and they didn't have the worst split ever, but it definitely wasn't great.
Yeah.
They started off hot and then didn't really do anything after that. So
it's just like a matter of like what they can make happen and what if they can like they just really have to just make top 8 again in the next major. I think that as long as like the 4 below are below them, they just have to finish finish after them, or before, or I don't know, time after rank before. I don't know, dude. I told you my brain is cooked to them. Like I've been on max heat for like 2 weeks and I just can't function anymore. And I got hit with allergies. I'm a mess.
I will say it looks really weird seeing Optic have a negative record right now.
Yeah, 15-7. That's.
I don't like it.
I hate it. I hate it. For a second, I was just like, why have LA Thieves played so many more matches? And I was just like, wait a minute. Never mind.
Because they made it for.
Yeah, I know. I just had.
They're at 100 map wins.
Yeah, I just had a brain fart. It's fine. I just my brain was working for a second. Don't worry about it. But So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, they're gonna have to have a good. They're gonna have to have a good major split and to be able to really put themselves forward here, or keep themselves in. It's gonna be some tight competition. Which, you know what, you'll love to see it. You'll love to see the competition, where you can.
I've heard rumors that roster changes are happening, and I'm like, I don't know about that. Like,
I mean, I know roster changes are like.
I feel like unless you really, really need to, or you really feel like it's necessary, you should not
Not this
make
late.
roster
Not
changes
this
right now.
late. There's no way, not this late. I mean, there's only one major left, and then champs, like, and then EWC, like.
Yeah, it's like you don't have that much time
To like get
and
the
like,
team together.
I mean, yeah, maybe if you want to like try to get a team that might do better at EWC, but like champs matters more.
Yeah.
Like I love EWC, but like I feel like most of these teams would rather win champs.
I think so too. I mean, it's just like to win. I don't know. No one talks about how the fact that wait, who won EWC? Was it FaZe?
Yeah.
See, I didn't even remember, but everyone knows that Optic won champs. So that's what people think
Honestly,
about.
I think that's more of a. I think that's a little more of a Optic fan bias than people knowing about EWC, but it's true. At the same time, it's like EWC was awesome. Like,
Let's go
don't get me
Thieves.
wrong,
That's what I'm
but
saying, Nick. Let's go Thieves.
for COD fans, it's like champs matters more. Like
Yeah.
when you have an event that pays out more than EWC, that event's gonna be better.
We know, Nick. But I think just like there's more build up to champs. I feel like there's more qualification that's necessary, especially like only like the top 8 teams in the league. Because with EWC, all 12 teams get in, and then there's a few challengers few challengers teams. But for God, I'm really having a rough time today. But for champs, like you have to like grind all season to get a good placement. Like there's a lot more that goes into champs and winning champs, I think, and there's just a lot more emphasis on it because this was the first time this past summer that COD was in EWC. So, I mean, I think as time goes on, it'll become more and more of a crown jewel, but I don't know. Guess it just depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick, Optic really did fall off. They're making their way back though. Slowly. It's very slowly. But we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
It's been a rough season for Optic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's been so up and down, but mostly down.
Mm-hmm. They're kind of going back up. They're kind of go back up a little bit though. I mean, Honor Thieves have just been like thieves have just been like perfection, I guess. Especially like this past weekend, they really showed like what they were really capable of. I mean, I think we've all been kind of like waiting for them to pop off and like really to secure that major win, and then they finally did, which
that's the thing about Thieves is like they're basically the only team this season that hasn't had any massive flaws. Like
yeah,
they've had some like they obviously
hiccups.
like this was their first event win. Like yeah, it took them this long, but like they've been so close every time, and like it wasn't like they were just playing badly, and now they finally picked it up. It's like they've been a threat the whole season.
They've been consistently top 4. Like every event.
I'm pretty sure the only event that they like went out super early was that first minor event.
Mm-hmm.
But like
other than that
was so early in the season.
But other than that, they've been top 4 consistently. And that I think that showed. I think it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when for them.
It was like the thing about them is it was just like a lot of little things that they, you know, little times that they slipped up or they didn't close out a map or whatever. Like it wasn't like they were getting destroyed for the losses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the difference that they've had with like every other team is like, especially FaZe, like yeah, phase 1, the first 2 events, but like they went out this event quick, and they also started the season out pretty bad. So, like, even phase have had their troubles, and I mean,
that team is
G's
just
have really not had any issues, to be honest.
no.
They've been fine.
It's just been like small cosmetic things that like can be fixed really easily. It's just they were consistently making different like little mistakes. But
Just little mistakes.
Little
got it right this
accidents.
time.
Happy accidents, you know? They did get it right this time. Go them. They
The fact
deserve
that they won 7 maps in a row.
I mean, they deserve it.
They nearly got taken out by Surge, and then they won 7 maps in a row.
They're like, we almost lost? Not anymore. So.
And it was crazy too, because like Surge were kind of dominating.
Mm-hmm.
First 2 maps.
Yeah.
Of that series, it was like holy moly.
Oh my god.
They might be the favorites.
Hold on.
And then Thieves reverse swept them. And then it was like, oh, okay, we'll see them in the grand finals. It'll be fine. And then Surge lose 4-0 again.
Mm-hmm.
Surge have not won a map in grand finals. They've been able to make grand finals now twice. They have not won a map.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good. I mean, they're definitely...
They're really good at getting there, and then they just, like, run out of steam.
Yeah. They're like, all right, we made it. That's, you know, that's as far as we'll go. We'll take a step back now. Which is like, don't let off the gas now.
And see, that's, like, the weird thing, too, is, like, they talked about, I think they had interviews where they talked about that, where they said they felt like they just ran out of gas, and I'm like, that was like it used to be like if you got back down and went in losers bracket, it was like an advantage almost because you'd end up playing more matches, so you'd constantly be warm, and like you would always have momentum if you were making a big run and winning, like so it's just kind of I mean, I guess it speaks to the format of the league now, but like getting sent down to losers bracket if you're a really good team most of the time was kind of an advantage. And like I don't know, it's just weird.
It is weird. But another good weekend of Call of Duty, you know, it's just another good weekend. I mean, I think Call of Duty this year has really stepped up their game as far as the esports department. I feel like the teams are a little bit more diverse in depth than they have been. I mean, I know we've had like the same few at the top, but I feel like there is a lot more competition at the bottom, minus Vegas. But to be fair, they did make the changes, which made them a little bit more competitive. But I mean, obviously, they still have a lot more to go.
I will say, props to Ultra, and especially Mercules for coming in with that team and never having played in a CDL event.
Doing as well
and
as
he shows up as a sub for Beans, and he like pops off. Like, yeah. I definitely look for him to either get signed by somebody or at least like get put on a team as like a bench player or something.
Yeah, he's definitely good. I was really shocked, honestly.
Like, I was watching TACRAB, and he was talking about how he plays for Mercules, plays for Omit, but Ultra sort of like loaned him out for this event, or they loaned him out to Ultra. And TACRAB was talking about how like it would be probably a good move, even if Ultra wanted to keep the roster they have, that's fine. But like, it would be a good move if they bought him out of Omit and had them on their team, but like could like loan them out to another CDL team for like the rest of the season if they wanted him. But then like at the end of the season, it's like he's Ultras again, and maybe they pick him up for the next game.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. I do think like teams would be stupid not to try to like bring him into the
I mean, he
conversations.
really showed up.
Yeah, he
Like
did.
honestly, like, and we talk about this all the time. We talked about it last week too, but like Mercury's showing up at this event, never having played an event, and playing that well should be assigned to the CDL that we need to get the challengers teams in here, and we need to do open events because I'm sure there are a bunch more challengers players that would do the same thing.
Oh, I agree. I really do think that like the amateur scene, like the path to pro in Call of Duty has really gone down the shitter, and it's been like this ever since they switched over to the franchise league with the botted teams and everything like that, and I just think that that's been very like hurtful on like the talent pool because you have to like you don't know how these players are going to stack up against the best players in the world, but you can't really tell that when they're playing against the second best players in the world, and you'll have like the best players in the world that are stuck in there because people are hesitant to like pull them up because they're like, are they actually going to perform? And sometimes people don't even make it there because you have to wait for someone to retire that's already proved themselves, or what have you. But the amount of rookies that we have at the higher level, compared to what we could have, I think makes it a little bit more difficult. And some of the vets, I guess you could say, that have been in the scene for a minute, they I don't feel like the fire is under them as much as it could be, you know? Like they feel pretty comfy in their spot. They're not grinding as hard because they know that it's gonna take a lot for them to, bring in somebody new to the league that hasn't already proved themselves.
I just think that we should. I just wish we would start having open events almost as like a recruiting tool for
Freaking
talent
Call of Duty
because
Combine.
I just the thing is it's like these teams pick up talent that they think will work and then it doesn't, and they're just like stuck with them, and there's no way for them to really see if anybody else is that good. Like,
I
and
think
like the only way that CDL teams really get to look at challengers players in the perspective of playing against a CDL team is if they scrim them.
Mhm.
But like a lot of CDL teams don't scrim challengers teams outside of like the first couple months of the game. So it's just like it's almost like that if they sign a challengers player, it's like they're just trying to bank on the fact that maybe this guy will be good, rather than like if we had open events every time at this major, you know, you would constantly be playing against these challengers players, and you would see which ones were good and which ones weren't.
Yep. Or do like a twice a season. Do like they do like the combine, like the NFL combine before the draft. Like do something like that, but with the Call of Duty players, like at the beginning of the season, right after the game drops, and then like a mid season, because most of the roster changes occur right after Major 2, before Major 3. So I have another one. Then I don't know how it would work because they've never really done this for esports before, but then just to prove themselves and like show what they're capable of, and
Honestly, I wish they would just do, even if they didn't want to worry about open events, like even if maybe the CDL teams didn't have, you know, maybe the CDL doesn't have the money to host big open events. I mean, I don't think that's true. I think they definitely
they
do,
definitely
but
do.
they can make all the excuses in the world to not have open events. But um, even if they didn't want to do open events, I think it would be great if they just did like 2Ks and 5Ks every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then like it's completely open. Whatever teams want to sign up can sign up.
Just
So
give them some sort of a platform in order to like to prove themselves, to show what they're capable of. Because right now there's not really anything other than challengers, and even then, like who's really
well, and the
paying?
2Ks and the 5Ks are how they used to do it anyway. Because I
Yeah,
remember like there were a lot of AM teams that came up by doing well on those, and then their players would get picked up by the pro teams.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense to do that, but I mean, CDL is not very good at doing things that make a lot of sense.
Nope. But
they're working on it, but
it's a slow process. One thing I kind of did want to briefly touch on, just because it's like one of my favorite games ever. So, the latest episode of the second season of The Last of Us, the series on HBO came out, and a lot of people were very much shocked with what that episode entailed. And as
I've never played this game or watched this, so I have no idea.
You have no idea? Oh, okay. Well, there's a scene. So, spoiler alert. If you care, please mute for like the next like 2 minutes. Spoiler alert. Joel, who's like one of the main, he's like the original main character, and then one of the main characters. He gets brutally murdered in the second game, aka the second season of the show, and you know, this game's been out for a minute. I think Last of Us 2 came out like 5 or 6 years ago. I think it was during COVID or something, like pre-COVID. I don't know. It was like around that time when that game came out. So there was a lot of people that withheld that information from the people watching the show for the first time before playing the game, and the amount of like people, it was like all over my For You page on Monday. Or was it last week? I don't remember. Time is weird right now for me. But everyone was just like, "Are you kidding me?" Like they were sobbing. I'm like, "Now you know how we felt playing the game." And they did it like, I think they did it a little bit more brutally in the show. Like it was nasty. Like I was like, "Oh my god." I cried personally, but that's just me. Both game and show. I just think they're doing a really great job. I think Last of Us and The Witcher adaptations from video games, I think they did a magnificent job with the storyline. I can only speak on those two because those are the only two games I've played that I've also seen the show of. I know they did like Uncharted, but I've never played Uncharted, so I just watched that movie on Sunday, actually. Uncharted. But I can't really compare it to the game. As I own Uncharted 4, but I've never played it, so. I own it, but I haven't played it. That's why I'm bringing back the Storytime Summer this summer, because I gotta get through these games, man. I gotta do it. I've completed like 2 of them. And that's not enough. That's not enough. My gaming ancestors are mad at me right now. They're like, Tone, what the heck? What are you doing? But also, why is Riot trending?
I don't know, bro.
I don't know either. Oh. Well, some of it is like Riot. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna. It's. Yeah. Anyway, no, there's nothing there for us to discuss. But I think they're doing a great job with it, and anyone that really shits on it is kind of just mad that it's not exactly like the game, but it's an adaptation, not a copy and paste. The characters are gonna look different. They're gonna say some different things sometimes. There's gonna be some certain scenes that aren't the same because sometimes it's hard to create those scenes outside of a video game, especially on a budget. But I'm glad that everyone is appreciating. I'm glad with this show, like everyone's finally appreciating the Last of Us storyline. I mean, I literally have a poster behind me of it because it's just such a good game. Like it's such a good game. It's in the fact that now there's a show with it too. Now it's such a good show. It's one of my favorites of all time, right up there with Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's saying something because that show is like my lifelong love. Love that game since it came out. Not the game, but the show. Anyway, beside the point.
What?
I don't know, dude.
Like, wait a minute.
I don't know. I'm not making any sense. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. But yeah. So I mean, if you guys haven't watched it yet, go watch the new season. I think they're on episode 3 now. I think they just released episode 3. Of The Last of Us. It's really great. It's really great. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. We'll watch again. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about that for a second because awesome stuff. Awesome sauce and awesome stuff. Trying to see what else there is going on. I mean, there's some new stuff coming into Call of Duty in relation to 420. That was a couple weeks ago. Looks like
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's add things 2 weeks after the holiday came out.
Yeah. Also, I think never mind, just kidding. I think this is just weird shit on the internet. Yeah, I don't know. It's the mid-season stuff is like why are you bringing stuff like this late after 420? It's been over a week.
I don't know. It's like it's a little nitpicky, but it's like, bro.
Yeah.
They teased it at the start of the season. They were all like talking about how it was a 420 thing, and then now it's been over a week.
Pat's past 420.
Oh, it's time to add that map in now.
Yeah, it's past 420, guys. Like, release it before. Oh, also, Mark Rubin released a statement about XDefiant. Or, no, about Call of Duty. Wait. Okay, hold on. Let me read this out loud. Sorry, this just popped up on my... I'm scrolling for things to talk about, guys. Leave me alone. He said he was responding to something else. He said, "Thank you. A lot of games, Call of Duty included, just focus on how to make the most money possible out of the player base. They rely heavily on FOMO marketing and EOMM matches. But I feel like it used to be just more about the quality of a game, which would drive players to play. And that means making the game more player-centric, less engagement, base tactics, and higher quality experiences for the players, better maps, modes. In other words, your game should have a high player count because it's good and people want to play it rather than people playing because the game has a $250 million marketing budget. Everything is very simplified, as it would take too long to really go into it. One last simple analogy: be more like Larian, less like XDefiant." Which, he has a point. I mean, especially with a lot of these AAA developers, they have shareholders. And shareholders, like, one thing, if you guys don't know about business and, like, the business in the capitalistic world, once a company gains shareholders, the shareholders only care about making money. Some of them care about, like, the actual product, but most of them are there to make more money. Like, some of them are on multiple different boards, are multiple different, revenue streams. This is just kind of like a side project for them, and they just want to make the most cash that they possibly can. And so when companies like this have boards, like Activision does, they need to figure out how to make the most money possible. And by doing stuff like this is how you do it. This is how they think that they need to do it, or is how that their shareholders and the C-suite tell them that they need to do it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, the game's still running, so, I mean, it's not, like, not working, but I feel like the gamers are less fulfilled by the game itself, and I feel like they could be making more money. Well, I think they could be making the same amount of money, just in different ways, Maybe go back to, like, DLCs, or, like, not these, like, 700 different skin options, and, do DLCs in, like, the battle pass, or, like, something like that, or just, like, the paid battle pass, like, up to $20 or something. I don't know, like, up to 10. Like, it's at 10 right now, isn't it? Up to 15.
Honestly, like, it's 10 right now. I think $10 is perfect for a battle pass.
I agree.
Especially with what they put in it. Like, 90% of the items are calling cards and stickers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you feel like you need to like double it but you give us better stuff, I feel like people are willing to pay the $20 instead of the 10. Like if you're getting a skin every single time, you know, whether it's a gun skin or player skin or whatever, like I feel like people are more willing to pay for that rather than paying 10
Yeah, but that's
bucks.
also like that also still kind of feeds into the problem. It's like all they're trying to do is make money, which it kind of makes sense from a business perspective, but it's like there's so much stuff that like used to be unlockable for free that
Yeah,
they put behind a paywall now.
that's true. I mean, like I feel like there's like a middle ground to which they could reach. Like I'm saying like, you know, give us the skins and stuff like that you're doing in these bundles, but instead of like putting them in these 10, 15, even sometimes $20 bundles, or like $5, but like whatever they cost, I don't buy them because, you know, waste of my money. Um but like instead of doing that, put them in the battle pass and then make like the calling cards unlockable by doing like daily challenges or like season challenges or stuff like that. Like do some other things and make it a
Yeah.
little bit more in depth. Then like if you're not charging for these bundles, then like and you still need to make that money, you can charge the $20 for the battle pass, but make it a better battle pass. You'll still be making some of that money, but you won't be like squeezing it out of us like we're just a freaking lemon on a
Oh,
warm
or
summer day.
what about this? I know this is a crazy concept,
God.
and like no other game has ever done this and been successful. But what about making Call of Duty free to play?
Oh my god, what? They could never. They could never. I mean, honestly, if they did free to play
I'm
and
not just
then,
talking about Warzone. I'm talking about the whole thing,
well,
whole
yeah, yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah. I feel like if they did that and they kept all like the bundles and stuff like that, kind of like how Fortnite does it, I feel like that would be fine too. I mean, I
They
feel
would
like
make more money because then people would have more money
to
to spend
spend,
because they that $70 that they spend on the game could now be used to buy more skins.
or maybe like some people don't buy the $70 game, but they have $50 that they can spend. You know what I mean? So like they're gonna get the game for free. They're gonna download it, the 700 gigabytes that it is, and then then they're gonna then they're gonna spend that $50, and that's an entire customer that you weren't supposed to have.
Yeah, because then it's like they only had $50, so it's like I can't even buy this game that I want to play. It's $70. Whereas if it was free to play, it's like, oh, I'll just download it and I'll spend my $50 on skins. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, and then boom, you've made an extra $50 just off of that player. Like people are still gonna spend money on the game. I mean, you've proven that people are willing to pay for the game. People are willing to pay for in-app purchases as well. I mean, there's going to be people that don't, or people that just buy the battle pass, or what have you. But at the same time, you're still going to have those people that drop,
Yeah,
you
but then
know,
like even the
thousands of
people that
dollars on the
play
game,
strictly free to play and don't ever spend a cent on the game, that's gonna make your player numbers look good.
which
Because
is
there's a
good for
lot of people that
investors.
probably will do that.
Yeah,
There would probably be a lot of people that would either spend very little money on the game, like only buy the battle pass or whatever, or never spend a dime on the game. But your player base is gonna look real nice when
but
there's hundreds of thousands of players all the time.
I mean, if you look at it now, I mean, a big chunk of the player base is on Warzone, and like you know, you look at games like Fortnite, Apex. You know, these games are all sustainable, free to play, with in-app purchases, like in-game purchasing, and it's totally doable. And I think it would be really beneficial to them if they made it free to play, brought down the SBMM a tad, maybe more than a tad, and like started working on the
It
cheating
kind of
problem, but
justifies the end game purchasing too,
yeah,
because then
it
it's
does.
like
Because you're like, oh,
a
I need to
lot of
make
these
money
games that are
somehow.
free to play, they have skins that are expensive, but it's like you didn't have to buy the game first.
Nope.
Like,
Nope. They're not. It
and
doesn't seem like
COD's
they're
got like
sucking in money.
$30 bundles, but you're already paying $70 for the game.
Or $100 for the premium edition, or 120 for like the Volt or whatever. Like
Yeah, you pay like $100 for the Vault Edition when most of the bundles that come out 6 months into the release are already better than what you got in the Vault Edition. Although that's not really true with that was true with the other games, but BO6 actually had a really good Vault Edition. Like I would say BO6 Vault Edition was the most worth it.
I didn't know. I didn't buy it, but I'll trust you on that one because you usually buy the Vault Edition, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, Deception would know. He
I
did.
thought MW3's was pretty good, but BO6's I think was the best. MW2's Vault Edition I bought, and that was a mistake. That was horrible. MW2's Vault Edition kind of sucked.
MW2 in general just kind of sucked.
You want to know what else is crazy? They keep calling it the Vault Edition, and pretty sure that the only reason why it was called the Vault Edition was because the guns that you got in MW2 Vault Edition, which is the first game that they called it that, they called it the Vault Edition because that gun, like, that gun skin that you got made it to where the skin was on every weapon that went with that gun and every attachment. So, like, you didn't have, like, half the gun losing its skin if you put the best attachments on it. And then they never did that again. There hasn't been, I don't think there's been a single, like, weapon since that's had something like that. They did that for that one gun that came in the Vault Edition the first time. They've been calling it the Vault Edition for the last, like, 3 years.
Hey, if it works, works. If it wait. If it works, it works. Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of say they did it with BO6. I actually kind of like the way they did a lot of the guns in BO6, like with the bundles, because, like, for the most part, the gun will stay the same.
Yeah.
Like, there are some times when, like, you'll put an attachment on and it'll ruin the gun a little bit, but, like, for the most part, they've made it on BO6 to where the guns mostly stay the same, which is good. But, like, that's just hats off to Treyarch because they always do good with their cosmetics.
That's true.
It's the same thing like how in BO3 it was so unique because in the past it was just like if you put attachments on a gun, the gun either didn't have cosmetics at all or had very few. Like maybe you would only have a cosmetic if you put a suppressor on it, or if you put a grip on it, or you put an extended mag. And like I said, sometimes there wouldn't be any extra cosmetics at all. It would just put the stats in there and you didn't even see anything change. But then like in BO3, they made unique weapon attachment for every gun in the game. So like if you put like a grip on the VMP, it would look totally different than the grip you put on the Man of War. It was great.
Yeah. Oh, to have those skins back. Those things back. I wish. I don't know. I really miss like DLCs, dude. Like the BO2 DLCs, dude. I honestly at this point, I'm gonna be real. This might be controversial to say. Come at me for it if you want. I would honestly rather have like loot boxes back.
If loot boxes were cosmetic only, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with that.
I mean, if they were like,
that's one thing that I've said is like people hate loot boxes, but they hated loot boxes when they started putting game changing stuff in it.
Yeah, I think
like
bringing
when COD started adding guns to the loot boxes. Like if they would just give us the guns for free, but put all the skins and stuff in the loot boxes, yeah, let's do it.
Or even like putting the, give us loot boxes, and then have like gun, like you have to do like challenges to unlock the gun, like you do like after the battle pass is over and you didn't unlock it, like that kind of stuff. Like I'd be down
That's what
for
they
that.
used to do.
I'd be down for that. Like why it wasn't
what they
broke.
did in World War II when they got supply drops right for the first time in forever.
Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like
the way they did it in World War II is you could get the new guns out of the supply drops. You had a chance to get them out of the supply drops, but there was also an armory credit system where there was an armory where there were a bunch of collections, and basically it was like you had like a bunch of items in a collection. There'd be like emblems, camos, calling cards, stuff like that, and or different weapon skins sometimes would be in there too. And basically what they would do was they had all of those. There were different numbers. Sometimes there'd be like 3 or 4 of them. Sometimes 8 or 9 of them. But like once you unlocked with armory credits, which by the way you earned just by playing the game. Once you earned enough armory credits, you could just buy out the whole collection and you'd get all the stuff in the collection and the ultimate reward, which you had to get by getting all the stuff in the collection. And that's what they would do most of the time with the new guns, is they would add a new collection that had a bunch of stuff in it, and the new gun was the ultimate reward. And what a lot of content creators would do is they would just grind the game like they always do, save up their armory credits, and then day one when the new gun comes out, they don't have to spend money on supply drops. They just automatically unlock the gun because they have the armory credits for it.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, it was like they gave you contracts and challenges in the game. They give you more armory credits along with just grinding the game. And if you got duplicate items from supply drops, which you also, by the way, could earn for free because they would give you supply drops with contracts, and
Daily.
they give you them every like 5 levels or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Not only all of that was also free ways to get supply drops. If you got duplicate items for supply drops, depending on the rarity, they would give you a certain amount of armory credits. So you were getting armory credits for duplicates too.
I think
like
that system was like
incentivized you to play the game as much as possible, because the people that play the game all the time would almost always be getting supply drops, and then would almost always be getting duplicates. So their armory credits are just going through the roof.
Mm-hmm. I think they're missing out by not doing that again. I think that was just like the way to do it, and them not doing it anymore is just stupid, in my opinion. I think they're missing out on a big market for that. I mean, and you can even buy them too. Like you can buy the supply drops, you can buy the tokens, but you can also earn them too, which I think they'll still make money off of it of people that don't want to grind the game but they want the stuff. Like if people have the money to spend, they'll spend it. But like you also want people on the game, and right now people are not happy with how things are going with the game. So they're not playing as much, and you're losing player base. And especially like post Warzone, like Warzone spiked the player base incredibly, especially because of the pandemic and just like timing and it being a free to play game. Back to that.
I mean, it was perfect timing.
And they
nobody saw that coming, but they all of a sudden randomly dropped it in March, and then the world shut down. So it's like,
yeah,
oh, they have this new Warzone thing to play.
Like they could have capitalized on that heavy, and they didn't. And they tried to, but they did it in the way that was like, here, let me suck you for every penny you got.
They did a pretty good job initially.
Yeah, but I think as the years went on, it's still
I still think that by far the worst mistake they ever made was Warzone 2.
Yeah.
They had something so good that they kept improving, and then they dropped Warzone 2, and it reverts most of the stuff. And basically, everything they've been doing to Warzone since then has been trying to pick up the pieces and restore what they had.
I don't know, man. It's they've got to make some changes. They got to do some things. I mean, we talked about this a lot about what Call of Duty could do. It's more of a matter of will they. But anyway, I think that's what we're gonna have to call it today. It is 1 o'clock, so I've got class today. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Climb Together podcast. I've been your host, Tonich. You're my co-host, Deception. Deception, say bye.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate you. This has been episode 116 of the podcast. We've got some changes coming to the podcast pretty soon, so stay tuned. Stay great. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.